Let me start it this way, actually, from at least a company perspective internally. I often hear what I call sort of three myths around sustainability or the environment when it comes to consumers. The first one is that this is expensive. The other one that comes up quite a bit is that this is a 10-year-out problem. We don't need to address it now. And then the third one is that the consumer doesn't really put their money where their mouth is. And I'd like to focus in on that last one a little bit, although maybe later we want to talk about some others. But the last one I'd like to talk about is that one of the reasons why people don't think the consumer puts their money where their mouth is because I think oftentimes the kind of research or consumer insight work that is done in this space is not all that disciplined. Much more equivalent to opinion polling as opposed to proper consumer insight work. And when you actually take the trouble to really delve into where the consumer's head is and really try to understand where they are, I think you find that they actually do care. They tend to care almost universally that this is much more a mainstream issue than we think it is, and that the fringe is truly the eco-skeptic, let's say. This is a mainstream issue. So how is a company to respond to this, I think becomes a very sort of interesting shift. When you actually do the work, you find that the consumer is way ahead of us. And one of the things that I think is sort of interesting for this group to consider is that actually meeting the consumer interests that currently exist, I think is one way to stay way ahead of a lot of the other issues that have been debated a little bit here today already, which is, government and how are we going to respond to government regulation. I'm so concerned about meeting consumer expectation that I tend to think that I'll probably be able to address those government regulations as they come along as well. So that's where I'd like to leave it.